Well, it was the most fantastic feeling ever.
It's the best day of my life thus far. To peak as a football fan in the way that we did in the last minute against one of the best teams in the country was just scarcely believable. I've watched it so many times since, and even now, going into injury time, I still don't think they're going to win it.
And Watson scores it and your heart sinks, your stomach sinks, everything just kind of drops, and that realisation of we're not getting this back.
My mind went blank for a split second when I saw it hit the net. I jumped up and I've never experienced anything like it since.
You've just gone and done it again, City, you know, they've broken my heart again.
It's a feeling that is so difficult to describe. You know, this is Wigan Athletic, some little pokey club from the northwest that, you know, we'd never won anything.
It meant a lot to this town. Wigan had done well. They got in a final a few years before at Cardiff. They lost easily with Man United. Well, this one was the icing on the cake.
We were very much Little Wigan that didn't even sell out their ticket allocation.
It's amazing and it's a brilliant feeling, and it's not just me, it's everybody. You can feel that. People still talk about it now.
Obviously, we'd kind of won the league the season before. It's the highest I've ever felt, like in terms of feeling so amazing about football and as a City fan. And we go into the new season thinking we can beat anyone.
The season was pretty much like many that had gone previously before it.
Wigan have been on a bit of a downward trajectory in the league for a few years. Roberto Martinez was desperately trying to play this wonderful brand of football. It wasn't quite working. We had so many defensive injuries. I think I counted up once. We had 12 different players play centre-back for us that year.
They played some really good games and didn't get the results. And it was one of them sort of seasons.
But the FA Cup was just something that was ticking along in the background. And I remember no one really paid attention to us until we beat Everton in the quarter-finals.
We ended up winning 3-0, scored 3 goals in about 4 minutes. And it was that point that the league almost became an afterthought.
The season, obviously there's highs and lows of it, but for me, it was good.
On the run-up to the FA Cup final, I think it was pretty high that we were going to win something.
Just looking back at it, I think what made it so special was, this is it, I'm actually watching Wigan at Wembley.
It almost didn't hit me until the Friday that tomorrow it's FA Cup final day, and for once I have a vested interest in it.
Anyone in the town that had anything to do with Wigan Athletic just descended on Wembley that day.
It was the biggest congregation of Wigan fans we've ever seen.
There were absolutely no expectations because of who we were playing.
We had Aguero, we had Tevez up front, we had all these kind of great players.
Before the game, there's that kind of thing in the back of your mind where you're like, they might beat us, but no. I was confident we were going to beat them.
I was convinced that we hadn't got a chance.
I know you should have faith in your club and faith in the team you watch, but you really just think they've not got a chance.
When the game started, it was almost as if that didn't really matter, the golfing quality between the two sides, because Wigan really took it to them.
When Wigan came out and started to play football against us, we immediately thought, okay, there's a team here willing to try and tackle what we've got.
Everybody mixed together and everybody's in together, really as one. That's what you're feeling, you're going off the side, and I think the crowd came behind the players with that and on board with them.
For so long in that game, it was just a midfield battle.
Callum McManaman absolutely tore everybody in the strips that day.
We weren't playing not as well as we normally could have played, or it just kind of seemed that they were up for it. They were the underdogs, they had nothing to lose.
As the game went on, we're going to win, we're going to lose, there was chances both ends.
The volume of songs kind of deteriorated to a couple of pockets, and I thought, okay, the confidence has been sapped out.
When it's close, when there's one goal in it, you never ever know.
As the game went later, we saw we had a chance.
70 minutes is where I really sensed this turning point.
When Zabaleta was sent off, I turned to my dad and I said, if we're going to win this, it's going to have to be now.
It was another trigger point that I was like, oh my God, this could actually happen.
You could drop a pin in the City end. When that corner was given, I thought, where's the nearest exit?
And I distinctly remember looking at my mum and she just had her head in her hands like this.
When he stepped up to swing it in, I didn't see Watson at all.
I just glanced over to the box and I saw James Milner on the back post. I saw Kun Aguero on the near post, and I thought, you've got the two smallest players defending in the 91st minute.
You knew that was our moment.
That ball comes in, Ben Watson comes up, and I remember just watching it and everything went slow motion.
It does go into slow motion and you see it looping over Joe Hart and the despairing dive, and it almost took half a second before it hit the corner of the net before you realised we just scored.
And it's in! It's Ben Watson! It's Ben Watson for Wigan Athletic! You just cannot write scripts like this.
I just remember the cheer. You only do remember the cheer from the other side.
Everything around us went to pieces. Everyone was jumping all over everyone.
You can't actually put to words the feeling you have, the emotion inside you.
And in the end, it was like it wasn't a surprise. It was like what we deserved.
It was great for them, and I felt that it was defining for them.
But as a City fan, it was heartbreaking.
When you support one of the smaller teams, you know moments like that, and they're not going to come back.
It was just a moment that you wanted to savour.
It's Wigan Athletics FA Cup, yes! Wigan Athletic!
All the way up until the final, when someone asked me, would you rather win the cup or stay up? Up until the day of the final, I'd have said stay up. After the final, I wouldn't swap it for anything. I don't know a single Wigan fan who would swap that day for anything. They could have wound the club up on the Sunday. We could have packed it all in. I don't think anyone would have cared.